here it is. We just got into September, and they're already starting to say, and you've lied to the people, giving them false information. I was only told that September, you would know we're in serious trouble. And the amount of earthquakes we have, and the storms, and the derecho storm. By the way, the derecho storm, there's many more coming just like it, as I was also told while I was on the phone the other day. Many more just like it are coming. The weather events is more than likely what that source meant by September. But the one source that I have that is a contractor for the Pentagon, he said that what would be that we would know we were in big trouble is that in September, never said when in September, but in September, people will be able to see with the naked eye what they have been hiding from us for a long time by turning off certain satellites, observatories, things like that, that you'll be able to see it with the naked eye. And he was talking about the Planet X system. And he said if you don't see it in September, then they know that you'll see it by the spring of the year. So he said it was believed that it would be able to be seen by the naked eye come September. That was his point on it. But nowhere did we say in September that we were going to have a catastrophic asteroid hit the Earth. The FEMA engineer, he spoke of, though, September we would begin to start seeing asteroids come in. All right. So in light of all that information, as I spoke with my source in the Pentagon there, he said to me, because I asked him specifically, I told him what FEMA people were saying and what was his understanding on this information. And he told me, he said, Stephen, he said, as you know, I've shared with you that we entered into this asteroid belt, if you want to call it, this cloud. It's actually a cloud. But he said in relation to Planet X, he said this is part of what we would call the bands of Planet X. And he said, when I say that, you have to understand that, he said, imagine Planet X like a hurricane, and that the planet itself of Planet X is like the eye of the storm. He said, we are in the furthest outer reaches, the bands of debris that is a part of that entire system. And he said, Planet X, the eye of the storm, is approximately 2 years away, around 2023, which may be actually more than 2 years away. But he said that's when we will actually enter into that, what you would call the eye of the storm. He said that's when it will be extremely bad. He said your legs will be knocked out from under you. It'll be that bad. But he said we are entering into that first band. And he said if you can picture it like this, he said that band, the outer edges of that band, he said, are small stones in it. And he told me it takes a tremendous amount of energy to be able to detect those stones. So he said we're not able to detect everything, especially when they're small ones. We don't detect them that easily. It has to be big stones. He said as we enter into it, he said we will be getting hit more and more by small debris. He said, in fact, we are being hit by that small debris already. He said, but most of it is small enough that it just burns up into the atmosphere and you don't see it in the first place. He says, just like, meteorites or something coming down, and you just see a little fireworks show type thing. Nothing big enough to cause any significant damage. He said, but I would agree with this FEMA source to some degree that as we move deeper into it and as the months go by, yes, it's going to get larger and larger stones, and here and there you're going to start seeing bigger things hitting the Earth. Nothing, though, as he said, that would be planet annihilators. These are just small stones. You'll get impacts here and there that are going to happen. Now, I also, as I mentioned, I had the other source that talked about November 2nd, that we would have that one there, but it would not be that big of a deal. Well, my FEMA source also agreed with that. He said that one should, for the most part, it'll burn up, but he said it won't be as the size of what even hit Russia. He said we'll get a good bang out of it when it enters the atmosphere, but nothing much more than that. So he agreed with that. Then he began to discuss though going into next year, because I said my FEMA contact, he told me that come around March or April of next year, things are going to really heat up with these asteroids, like showers of rain of asteroids. He said there's a good possibility that that is more accurate as well, because this one band, the deeper we get into it, the larger the rocks will get. And he said many of them we've not even been able to detect yet. We just know they are there.